I just love Twitter. To me, Twitter is more than just social media. It's a real mission field. And you meet the nicest people on Twitter. Remember those old Honda commercials? The other day I was checking out some of the people who had recently followed me. I was following them back, and I ran across one account at Reach Right. And I followed them back, but for some reason I kind of felt led to check out their bio page. And when I went there, I checked out their website. I read some of their tweets. I read some of the blogs that were mentioned in those tweets. And one blog really grabbed my attention. The title of it was 5 Basic Mistakes That Churches Make Over and Over Again. I really like that. Basic mistakes. If it's basic, it's simple. If it's simple, it can be easily corrected. So that appealed to me. That they make over and over again. That means it's persistent. That means it is habitual. That means it's a pattern that can be broken, that needs to be broken. And the 5 points that they illustrate and document in that blog serves as inspiration for this, the second in a 5-part series. And they point out that starting late is the problem. And here's a quote, just a sentence or two from starting late in their blog. Some people got their kids up early, made breakfast, showered quickly, and fought traffic to show up on time. When you start late, you dishonor all their effort. Well, amen, brother. I couldn't agree more. Promptness is important. Being late and people that are late, that's just kind of a pet peeve of mine. And I think in church it's important that we start on time. And I will give credit to many churches do start on time. Won't talk about when they end, but they do start on time. But a lot of people show up late. And that really bugs me. And then I got thinking about it, and it seems to me that we have institutionalized tardiness in church. Now, how did we do that, and why do I say that? Well, my life experience has been in the typical church that we have. The worship service consists of 2 parts. The worship service usually starts at 11, but at about 9:45, notice I said about, at 9:45, we begin the small group Bible study time, which begins with what we call assembly. Now, what is assembly? Well, assembly is a time of just fellowshipping and networking that we get together. About 4 or 5 different small group Bible studies will meet in a larger room and get together, and we can welcome visitors, meet new people, make new friends. It's a wonderful thing. There's usually coffee and donuts or some sort of refreshments. You can enjoy the refreshments, and then after that time is over, everybody kind of gathers in the seats, and perhaps a hymn will be played and sung or some other musical thing, and then some leader of the assembly will stand before the group and talk about prayer requests, praise reports. Perhaps there will even be a short devotional, hopefully one that does not preempt the lesson text of the small group Bible study that will follow. And then after that, of course, we have a closing prayer, and then we break out to our individual small group Bible studies in other rooms where the doors are closed and blah, blah, blah. Well, here's the deal. What would happen if you arrived 5 minutes late? Well, nothing. You would miss out on some of the mingling and networking and time to have fellowship, but no big deal. What if you arrived 10 minutes late? Well, you would perhaps walk in and everybody would be standing singing a hymn or other song, but chances are you would not be noticed, or it wouldn't interrupt anything, and you could just take your place on the back row after you got your coffee and donuts. If you arrive 15 minutes late, that would be a little bit of a problem, because at that point everybody is seated, there's one speaker addressing the group, and you would be noticed. But you could slip in and sit down in the back seat, no big deal. But once we break out to our individual small groups, if you were late for that, you would open the door and perhaps interrupt an opening prayer. There's no way you could not be noticed. So the bottom line is that the assembly time prior to small group Bible study serves as a buffer between when you get there and when the actual small group Bible study begins. And we have, in fact, enabled people to be late. And therefore, by enabling them, in fact, you have encouraged tardiness. So here's a remedy. My church actually does this. What if we said that our worship service begins at 10:59 instead of saying 11 o'clock or 11:30 or whatever? It seems like we kind of round things to the nearest half hour. It's just a cultural defect as far as I'm concerned. But if I said that we're going to start at 9:27 a.m., that would imply temporal precision. People would realize, well, I must start right promptly at that time. Maybe that would help. I promise you that if you arrived at 9:28 a.m., you would have missed 1 minute of the program. Seriously, people, I have a question. How much talent is required to be on time? Well, the obvious answer is 0. Everybody can be on time. Being on time speaks volume about your attitude, but more importantly about your character. Being late speaks volumes about your attitude and your character. You know those people that are barely there in the nick of time? They're actually planning to fail. It's just a matter of time before they're late, because something unanticipated and out of their control will happen on their way there, and they will be late. It's bound to happen. Now, folks, let me get this right. I have been late. I'm not on time every time. But when I know that I'm going to be late, I have one of these. Do you have one? Well, use it to call ahead, and what I say is that I'm going to be late. I expect to be there at, and then I'll give them my best good faith estimate of when I'll be there. I never offer an excuse why I'm late. I don't have to. I have a reputation for being early. They know that it is uncharacteristic of me not to be early. So I don't need an excuse. I have a reputation. Folks, by doing it this way, the benefit will be you'll always be on time. But that is just the beginning. That is the tip of the iceberg. I can testify to you that if you will make this habit of being on time, if you're a leader, start on time. That will encourage people to be there on time. If you are part of the audience, be early. You know why? Because now when you get ready, you won't have to hurry because you're on time. You've planned ahead. As you're driving there, you'll be a safer driver. You will enjoy the ride there more. You will enjoy the experience. And when you get there, you'll have a better attitude and you'll be much more receptive to a learning environment that will help you in your walk with Christ. So I hope that you will consider being on time. Always be early. Enjoy it. Don't let Satan siphon off the joy of your Sunday worship experience in any way. Well, that's what I've been thinking about today. Again, I want to thank Outreach Right for their excellent blog on 5 basic mistakes that churches make over and over again. They have served to inspire this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you've been inspired by the video, and I hope that you've been encouraged. Most of all, I hope that you've been empowered to make changes in your own life, to enjoy the fullness of your walk with Jesus Christ as a Christian. I am not the only one that does these videos. That we have a team of Christian men and women that join with me and use their blogs to make these short videos. I hope that you will subscribe to this YouTube channel and check out their videos as well. Hey, let's connect on Twitter. My handle is below. And if you would like to see the talking points for all 5 of basic mistakes that churches make, go up there to the address of my text blog. Thanks so much for sharing your time today.